Morning.
Thank you. Sure. Yeah.
Is your land, this land is my land, from Putnam Plaza to the Lafferty Highlands, with its oak tree forest and year-round waters. This land was made for you and me. As we go walking a rural byway, and understand why some demand a highway, a rural road to a rural Eden. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Putnam Plaza to the Lafferty Highlands, with its oak tree forest and year-round waters. This land was made for you and me. Someone to fence off Sonoma Mountain to keep the public of its rightful parkland.
I mean, the neighbors don't even like people walking on that road at all. They have generally had the whole mountain to themselves, and they've had that road to themselves. And part of what we're trying to demonstrate is that it is a public road. It is legal to walk along it. We're walking along a public road to visit a piece of public land that's going to become a public park, and there shouldn't be anything particularly controversial about it, and yet a lot of people seem to think there is.
Next time the studio.
And why are you on this march, Carol?
Well, I'm an outdoor person. I'm a hiker, and I believe in the idea of having a park here in the close by in Petaluma, and South Sonoma County needs one.
And I think it's a travesty that the neighbors up here are preventing access. So I want to demonstrate my support, and I'm very happy to see all these other folks out here interested in showing that the citizens want this to become an open space.
I want to become more familiar and know more about the inside story of it. But basically, it seems that it's land that the city already owns, and there's a dearth of public space in Sonoma County.
I live next to a main street called Sonoma Mountain Parkway, and my kids go to a school called Sonoma Mountain School. Every day we look up at that mountain. It's a constant presence in the mind of people in Petaluma. There are probably thousands of houses that have some kind of view from an upstairs window of that mountain. And other people see it from the street and from the businesses, and yet there's no place on the part of the mountain you can see from here where people can go up and enjoy it. And that's very unusual in this area. Most high ground is public. There are parks on most of the major peaks. This is the exception. It's time that should change.
We're going to walk along public roads up to public land, but we're not going to be able to go into that public land. And that's the point of this walk. We're going to do it next month, or we're going to do it every month until it's open as a park. We want to let the community know that there are people, there's a lot of us, we represent a lot of people who believe that Lafferty Park should be open to public access.
Yeah, this is a very fine demonstration of citizen commitment after 10 years of trying to get Lafferty Park open. It belongs to the city already, and we've had one barrier after another thrown up against this.
for those that live in Petaluma Valley, it really gives you a sense of place where you are located. Where is Petaluma really located in the ecological scheme of things? It makes you think about the biology of the area.
Why people can't just walk up to Lafferty Park without, we have to get special permission for it. That's ridiculous. There's one person that claims to own one little section of the road, which he doesn't.
There is a disputed area right at the entrance to Lafferty Park, which our survey, the city survey, demonstrated that other landowners are encroaching on city land. However, a challenge has been made to that by some of the neighbors who say that there is a strip that would prevent us from having access to that land.
The city really does have access to the property as far as I'm concerned. We've got a survey by a licensed surveyor that has told us that we do have access, but property owners up there dispute it, and we need to go to the next step in making sure that we have clear access to the property, which is what the public, I believe, wants.
I want to come over towards the gate here. We want to have them lined up a bit so when we get our picture taken, all of us can see. I want to thank you all for making the long walk.
What are you counting there, Matt? What are you counting? What are you counting?
Police cars.
How many do you count?
5.
5 police cars.
No, there's 8. More there. Yeah, I was just counting these. They sent up here to see that the road wasn't blocked.
8 police cars.
Well, sheriff, county sheriff, and highway patrol.
We've made all this happen so far. We got a little ways to go, so.
Sonoma County has got to be the only place in the 9 Bay Area counties where the supervisors would not be bending over backwards to work with the city to open up such a magnificent piece of public land. But here in Sonoma County, the supervisors are, if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, they're on the fence, and if you want to maybe call a spade, a number of them seem to be working for the interests of, the select few over the needs of the general public by throwing roadblocks into the opening of this park.
And we need to let our supervisor know that the citizens of this town want this park open, and we want them to support us and not support Peter Fendler and his selfish needs.
Wave to Peter. Hello, neighbor. Welcome, neighbor. Where? Come on out. We got lemonade. Come on out.
Getting this 2 CHPs down there. So you can actually see. Still?
Just left.
The city shouldn't have to spend this kind of money to protect their property. They should put this guy in jail and get rid of him. That's all I can say. And I'll fight and work for this cause till the day I die. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pack in, folks. Where's the park sign? Pack in this way. Layer in.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, that was nice. 1, 2. Now do one some more animated.
I've been interested in the Lafferty issue for the last almost 7 years. In fact, when I first came to Petaluma, I heard about the swindle that was being perpetrated, and it excited me enough to become vaguely politically active, which I had never been in my life.
Since I moved here, when I found out about the Moon Ranch little swap thing, and I kind of got excited about the whole political process that was going on in Petaluma. And here I am 6 years later, and this is where we're at right now, showing public support, trying to open the park for everybody.
The attempt to trade it away became public in about 1994, the so-called swap, where one of the neighboring landowners, Peter Fendler, had acquired another piece of land lower down on the mountain. He had been working to keep people off of Lafferty, which is next to his main ranch, and he arranged through a complex backroom deal involving some county and city officials this complicated swap where he would trade this other property lower on the mountain to the county for Lafferty. Around 1996 and then again in 1998, Lafferty became a clear watershed issue, no pun intended, where because of the injustice of the swap that was being proposed, and eventually a poll came out showing that people opposed that swap, something like 3-1. And that was reflected in those two city council elections of 1996 and 1998, where basically everyone who had proposed and supported the swap was swept out of office.
We take the ferry over.
I think it'd be great fun. It's just getting off work.
Well, then that's a problem.
I'd have to take off a half day of work.
Yes, but it's so great. If you ever need to do it, it's
every
really
month.
great.
It's
It's
been
every
going on
month,
for years.
winter, summer, yeah. It's just so neat.
So what'd they tell us? Will? Are you trying to get Miles somewhere? Not now. Gave up on
Initially, I got involved because of the water issue, which I didn't think it was a good idea for the city to give up its water resource, because the property used to be owned by the city as a water source, and up to the Russian River Aqueduct, it was the main source of water for the city of Petaluma.
I actually found the Lafferty Ranch through Larry Modell's webpage when I was searching for Marshall Lafferty.
That's great.
So you helped me find my ancestry.
That's great. And how have you felt about the issue and opening it up as a park?
I think it's wonderful. I think the people here are marvelous to give it such strong support in view of the problems that they're having.
Well, obviously it's the legal opposition that's being put up by some of the people who live along this road. And as far as I can tell, it seems to be a matter of who runs out of money first.
The strategy by Fendler and the other landowners in recent years seems to be to use legal threats to cause the city of Petaluma in particular to spend so much money that it can't possibly proceed with the park. They're essentially trying to bankrupt the city, at least in terms of how much money it's willing to spend to open this park.
Oh, he's going to interview the irate neighbors. Cute.
We've been using the tools of democratic organization and the ballot box and getting people organized and working together and doing everything really the right way in terms of democratic processes. And the other side has this handful of people who have been opposing this throughout that whole period, have been using backroom deals, connections, using their money and influence to try to block us at every turn.
Here they come. All right. There they come. Is it like San Mateo? Like San Mateo? So past that side?
Was that a Bruce helicopter flying around?
The green one with the yellow star. It's really important that all of us and those people that we know tell the supervisors and anybody else that this is a roadblock. It's artificial to our enjoyment of this park. That this road and the condition of that road, to say that it needs $3 million worth of widening, that's an artificial roadblock to our enjoyment of this park. And to say that we can't go on there until we do another couple of years worth of environmental studies, a foot-thick study isn't enough to turn a cow pasture into a hiking park. We need to make it 2 feet thick and spend another $1 million. That's an artificial roadblock. It's not right, it's not just. That's why we say Lafferty and justice for all.
Okay, good.
Grab your attention, please.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Listen up!
Get off the pavement, folks. Off the pavement. Off the pavement.
Grab your attention, please. We're going to all move this way for now because the sheriff's deputies would like to have room for the vans to turn around right where I'm standing.
Not right here, no. Yeah, right here, by our survey. That's in dispute, but anyways, that's the reason why. They have put their price up.
And they Fendler requested that you guys come out.
So which one of them claimed ownership? Both of them.
I think it's important that county supervisors recognize that this is an important thing. It's needed. It's wanted by the people.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any reason why pristine property like this so close to a metropolitan area should be in private hands, especially when the city owns it. Should be able to go use it.
Yeah.
I travel a lot.
No doubts about that, huh?
Always try to walk up to the hill above where I am to look down and get a perspective on things. Nothing unusual.
I should watch my tongue.
Basic stuff.
With a tumble and a trickle all around, the stream seems to giggle as it winds its way down. Past trees hanging over, reeds bends with the flow, and out through the grass to the river below.
But one of the real challenges for groups like ours, Friends of Lafferty Park now, is to educate people about what that property is like, because so few people have seen it. You can see it from a distance, from down here in the valley, but very few people have seen it up close. So we've put up websites with lots of pictures and descriptions so that people have an idea of what's up there and what's at stake.
Ready? 1, 2, and 3.